Hello, Dinky here. In my recent pickups video, I told you guys I was going to be getting a game in the mail, and I decided to do a video for just this one game, because it's a really important game to me, and I'm going to tell you why, and also ask you guys a question. And it starts out whenever I was 3 or 4 years old, and I always had an Atari at my house, and whenever I went over to my grandma's, I'd have a Commodore 64. So I'd always be excited to go over to her house, because we had different games over there. And I mean, we had so many, probably at least 75 games for the Commodore 64. So I always went over there, always loved playing all these games, and once the Nintendo came out, I never really played them as much anymore. So my grandma ended up packing it away over at her house, and whenever I was away at college, she decided to remodel our house, and she started cleaning it up and said, "Hey, do you guys want the Commodore 64? So I said, you know, of course, and my parents were home. I was up at college, so they got it, and they ended up packing it up in the attic for me. But what turned out happening was they put the Commodore 64 up there, but they threw out all the games. So all 75 to 100 of these games just got tossed into the garbage. And, I mean, I don't understand why they split them up, but whenever these discs were on those really thin floppy discs, so the thing holding them was probably only this big, but it had all 75 in there. No boxes or anything. But they all got tossed out. And I came back home from college, and my dad told me, you know, we had this Commodore 64 that we put up there. So I said, oh, and it brought back all these memories from whenever I was young, so I wanted to play the games. And I found out that they were gone. So I started trying to remember what the games that I played whenever I was young was, and I was only 3 or 4, maybe even, I probably played them up until I was about 6 maybe, and I just couldn't remember any of the names of the games. I mean, I remembered Popeye, I remembered Pitfall on the Atari, and then Frogger on the Atari, but other than that, you know, I really don't remember many of what those games were. So I started looking online, trying to figure out what this game was, asking my mom, my dad, my brother, and sister, and nobody remembered. So I figured I just was never going to know what the game was. And one day it just popped into my head, and I remembered what it was called. So I went on the internet, and I started trying to find the game, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked on eBay, looked on Craigslist, I looked everywhere. Couldn't find the game. So, just recently, I went on to eBay, and I typed it in, and it hasn't been showing up on eBay for at least 5 years. I've always typed it in every now and then. Never showed up, and somebody just posted it for $65. And with shipping it probably would have been $75. So, I mean, I was considering getting it, and I said, alright, I'm just going to type it into Google, and I typed in the name, and it came up on Amazon. And the only difference was, instead of being for the Commodore 64, this one was for the ColecoVision. But it's pretty much the exact same game. And this one was only $10. So I said, alright, I'm going to order it. So I did, and I got it in the mail, and the game is called Sammy Lightfoot. So this is the ColecoVision version right here, and I still want to get the Commodore 64 version, but I mean this is perfect because the gameplay is the same. It's pretty much the exact same game. But the funny thing is, on eBay it was the Commodore 64 game selling for $65, $75 with shipping, and this one I got for $13. But on all the price guides, the Commodore 64 version is worth about $12. And the price guide that I use has Sammy Lightfoot as the most expensive ColecoVision game, and it's priced at like $60 to $65. So I actually got the really expensive one for a cheaper price. So hopefully I can find the Commodore 64 one for cheaper too. But the thing about getting this for $13 is that, I mean, it's not really a game that pretty much any retro gamers are going to remember. Hardly anyone that even knows what a Commodore 64 is. Nobody knows what this game is. So I'd be curious to see if any of you out there have ever played this game or heard of it. And also, you pay $13 for a game like this, and it's not really that you're going to get all that excited to play the game again. I still love it, but it's only 3 levels. You know, you could beat the whole game probably in like 20 minutes. And it's more just that you pay $13, and you're just getting your childhood memory back. Because this was one of my favorite games to play back then, and whenever I started thinking about it, you know, I just remembered being over my grandma's, being really young and really excited over such a simple game. So I wanted to do this video not only to show you guys what game I got, but also to ask you guys if either your parents threw things of yours out, or if there's something from whenever you were little that you just can't remember what it was. Like, I know a lot of you out there probably have games that you played whenever you were really young, and you just don't remember the names or what they look like. So just leave comments or send me a message and let me know if there's any games out there like that, because there's so many people in this YouTube gaming community now that it's a lot easier to find games that you won't remember or games that you've lost in the past. So I just wanted to share this game and hear some of your guys' stories. So I'm Dinky Dana. Thanks for watching.